Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Luke and I do perfume reviews. If that's something you're interested in, please consider subscribing. In today's video, I'll share my thoughts on a bunch of different perfumes that I've recently sampled. I'll rate them on a scale from 1 to 10 and I'll tell you whether I'd consider purchasing a full bottle or not and why. And I won't talk about them at great length. I'll just give you my quick thoughts and first impressions on these fragrances. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first one I've got is Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, and this one came out in 2014. It's an eau de toilette. I have to say, I really like this scent. It's a fresh floral with notes of rose, peony, and a touch of musk. To my nose, this is definitely a fresh, musky, peony scent. I really like it, I enjoyed it, but I won't be getting a full bottle because it didn't really last on me. I only got about 4 or 5 hours of wear out of this one. I heard that a new version came out in 2023. I'd love to give that one a try as well. But this one, Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet 2017, is nice. I would rate it 5 out of 10. And unfortunately, it's not full bottle worthy. For me, at least. Okay, next up we've got Givenchy L'Interdit, and this is just the original from 2018. I'm a fan of this fragrance. I think it's a great, modern smelling, white floral scent. It's a sweet tuberose with some vanilla, some patchouli in the base. I find it very strong on me, so I'll definitely consider purchasing a full bottle in the future. I did actually own the Rouge Flanker 2 years ago, I think. I used it up. I really enjoyed it. But I do also really like this one. So that's Givenchy L'Interdit Eau de Parfum from 2018. Rating 7 out of 10. Full bottle worthy, yes. Moving on, I've got a sample of the original Dior J'Adore from 1999. And while I like some of the other flankers from the J'Adore line, namely J'Adore l'Or, the previous version, not the one that is sold at the moment. But I'm not really a fan of the original J'Adore. It's not a bad fragrance, don't get me wrong. It's a nice fruity floral scent. It's heavy on the jasmine, on the melon, but to me it smells very shampoo-y and I'm just not a fan. I've tried it on numerous occasions and it never really impressed me. I would rate it 4 out of 10 and this is not full bottle worthy for me. Moving on, we've got a couple of niche fragrances. The first one's actually a decant of a fragrance that I used to own. And I'm so glad I found this in my decant drawer because I genuinely forgot that I still have it. And I'm talking about Watch by Micallef. And I bought a small bottle of this fragrance back in 2019, if I remember correctly. And I think I used it up. It's a sweet, fruity, almost gourmand-leaning tuberose scent. It's sweet, it's vanillic, it's fruity, it's bubblegummy, and just addictive and intoxicating, in my opinion. If a fragrance has both tuberose and peach, I'll probably love it. I looked it up on Fragrantica, and it was actually released back in 2002, so no wonder I like it so much. It's definitely a modern classic. I don't actually know if they still make it, but I'm glad I was able to revisit it because I used to enjoy it. So that's Watch by Micallef. Definitely full bottle worthy for me. I'll rate it 8 out of 10. Next up, we've got Clementine, California from Atelier, Cologne, Paris. And this is supposed to be Cologne Absolue, which is apparently the same as pure perfume, and I find that really confusing. As for the scent, this is a simple citrusy scent. It's citrusy and aromatic, perhaps slightly masculine leaning, and I think it's overpriced and boring. Is it the nice citrusy scent? Yes. Does it last? No. Is it full bottle worthy? No. It kind of reminds me of one of those CK1 flankers, which you can get for a fraction of the price. So rating 3 out of 10, full bottle worthy, no. Okay, the next one is Gentle Fluidity Gold from Maison Francisco Dijon. This is actually my second sample and I do really like it. It's sweet and vanillic, woody and aromatic. It's not the most original smelling vanilla in my opinion, but it's really nice and I don't get any synthetic screechiness from it, which is usually the reason why I don't like most MFK fragrances, but I do really enjoy this one. I would say this is a nice vanilla fragrance with some added aromatic touches. The juniper berries and the nutmeg make it really interesting. I would say it's 100% unisex. Would I consider getting a full bottle? I genuinely don't know. Maybe. Rating 7 out of 10. Full bottle, maybe. The next one is called Beautiful from a brand called Eisenberg Paris, and I've never heard of this brand before. I tried this blindly and I found it really nice. It's sweet, it's fruity, slightly powdery, maybe a little bit medicinal. I found this fragrance really unique. I don't think it's a crowd pleaser. It's got fig, cedar, iris, sandalwood, and some pink pepper in the opening. So the opening is definitely sweet, but the dry down becomes more unisex in my opinion. And I'll have to play around with this one more because I really enjoyed it the first time I tried it. There was something a bit medicinal in the opening, but the dry down was absolutely beautiful. But you have to like unisex fragrances because this to me does not smell overly sweet once it dries down, but the opening is kind of sweet and maybe a little misleading. So that's Beautiful by Eisenberg Paris. Rating 6 out of 10, full bottle worthy, maybe. Okay, the next fragrance is actually a perfume oil and it's a dupe for Tom Ford Eau de Soleil Blanc and it's from the Perfume Parlour from the UK. And I must say it smells very close to the original. I had the opportunity to try the original when I was traveling and this dupe is actually spot on. It's tropical, it's beachy, it's a floral vanilla scent, and I really like it. I think I've only worn it once or twice. I put the tiniest dab of this perfume on my wrist, and I could smell it for hours. So that's Tom Ford Eau de Soleil Blanc, the oil version from the Perfume Parlour, rating 7 out of 10. Next up, we've got another niche fragrance, this time from Amouage. And this one is Love Tuberose from Amouage. And I don't even know where I got this decant from. I think someone must have sent it to me as a gift when I bought something from them. So Love Tuberose is a sweet, gourmand-leaning white floral fragrance. And I must say, I really enjoy it. It reminds me of a few other tuberose-heavy fragrances like Givenchy Organza. So yes, this is definitely a nice fragrance, but honestly, I wouldn't buy a full bottle of it because, you know, Amouage prices are up in the sky. Their fragrances are very expensive, and I don't think most of their fragrances, especially those more Middle Eastern ones, are for me. This one doesn't really smell like an Amouage fragrance, to be honest with you. So I really like the scent. I mean, what's there not to like? It's tuberose, it's vanilla, it's whipped cream, but it's not full bottle worthy for me. So that's Love Tuberose from Amouage, rating, let's say, 6 out of 10. The next fragrance that I tested is Nuit de Sable from BDK, and this is a niche fragrance, and I must say it smells niche. To my nose, it's a slightly old-fashioned rose with lots of added spices. The two main notes are rose and nutmeg, and I can smell both very strongly. I don't really detect that sandy note it's supposed to have, hence the name, Nuit de Sable, so a night of sand or a sandy night. But I must say it's interesting, it's unusual, and it's very pleasant. I was really impressed by this one, so I'll give it a 6. I finally remembered what it reminded me of. It reminded me of potpourri. And I don't think I'll be getting a full bottle of this one though. But it's nice. It's nice. It's a nice fragrance. It smells interesting. 6 out of 10. Full bottle worthy. No. The next fragrance is a really interesting one. You know that I love all kinds of patchouli scents. This is Moonlight Patchouli from Van Cleef and Arpels, and I must say I was almost tricked into buying a full bottle of this one because the opening was absolutely gorgeous, and I literally thought I'd found the next best patchouli fragrance. I'm always on the hunt for the next best patchouli fragrance. I just love patchouli fragrances. The stronger the patchouli, the better. But this one, yes, it has a ton of patchouli, some sweetness, a nice ambery undercurrent. But when it dried down, I couldn't scrub it off fast enough. So it was definitely a scrubber for me. The dry downs turned very medicinal and synthetic smelling on me. And I blame the note of leather. And I don't know whether my sample has gone bad or something, but this fragrance definitely doesn't smell good to my nose when it dries down. So I'll give it a 3 out of 10. And of course, it's not full bottle worthy. Okay, let's do another one. So last but not least, I've got Armani Code for women. And this is the original from 2006. I have tried this before and I think it's a great fragrance. For some reason, I never picked up a bottle, but this is a gorgeous orange blossom scent. It's white floral and it's really citrusy and orangey and sweet. It smells unique and it also gives off a very early 2000s vibe to me. It's definitely a fragrance from a time when designer fragrances were still strong, long-lasting, unique, signature scent worthy. So it's a really nice fragrance. So that's Armani Code by Giorgio Armani, 2006 release. I'm rated 7 out of 10 and it is full bottle worthy for me. So these are all the fragrances that I wanted to talk about today. Let me know if you liked this video. Lots of people have requested a video like this, so let me know if you want a part 2. I have a huge drawer of decants and samples, and I can start working through them and sharing my thoughts with you along the way. So thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.